Hey, Mr. Carnahan, welcome to our Frankenstein podcast. I'm Bubba's.
And I'm James. Today we're going to be diving into the theme of revenge.
Yes, yep, revenge. So, yeah, revenge kind of like basically drives the second half of the story. Not the full, but the second half. It's not just something that happens, it basically becomes everything.
Yeah. So for both Victor and for the creature, we can start off with this question, and that is, what actually pushes the creature to want revenge in the first place? I think it's, or sorry, sorry.
Yeah, so for me, so yeah, I think it's all the rejection that the creature faces. Victor creates him and then immediately bails and runs away. So this basically sparks the revenge. And every human the creature meets, they freak out or attack him. So even the Lacey's, which seemed kind to him at first, end up rejecting him, which is basically is very sad.
Right, right. And so, I mean, you feel really bad for him at first. And as he tries to learn to be gentle. But the world doesn't give him a chance, even if he wants to prove it to the world doesn't really give him that chance. And eventually that just kind of breaks him emotionally.
Yeah, and there's I have this specific line I had wrote down in chapter 17 that's kind of sums it up. I am malicious because I am miserable.
Exactly. And that's not just a villain talking, a villain in the story. It's someone who's like deeply hurt and really just doesn't know what to do. So kind of just lost. And that's really the only solution they really have and their only plan.
Yeah. So I have another question for you. Is the creature's revenge justified?
Yeah, and that's a hard question because like we both understand why he's angry, and like if we were in that situation, we'd probably be just as angry as well because Victor abandoned him right after creating him. And
Yeah.
but the only problem is that the creature kills people like William and Elizabeth who had nothing to do with the problem, which that part's not okay. So I think he's definitely justified in being angry.
Yeah, angry at Victor.
Angry at Victor and just angry about like, why was I created? What's my purpose?
Exactly.
But it's not okay to bring people into that who are not even involved by killing people.
Yeah, and it's honestly really hard to it's really hard for the creature because he has nothing, no foundation to go off of. He has no idea. Like, he was created by Victor. Victor ran off all scared, and what was he was just
Yeah.
disgusted with his creation and just treats him like trash, and then society treats him like trash. So it's like I could see why the monster is just like he's basically reacting at how he's being treated.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just not just hurting Victor. He makes innocent people pay, which in every world, obviously people are gonna be scared of a big scary monster. If I feel like if Victor actually gave the monster a chance and showed him to the world and made him into a good creature,
Yeah, kind of taught.
it would have taken a whole 360 direction. I feel like it would have gone a lot better for the monster and Victor, personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where it goes from tragic to horrifying.
Yeah. And I don't think he really, deep inside, he really wanted to become this monster. I don't think.
Yeah.
If he had the option, he did have the option, but if he had a way out, I don't think he would have killed William and Elizabeth. That's not really the outcome he wanted in his heart. But because he begged Victor to make him a companion, because he knew he thought maybe if he had a companion that none of this would happen, and so
kind of like his way out.
Yeah, kind of that was like his whole way out of it.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I think in a way, that definitely would have probably been a better option. But then again, then Victor would make another that companion could also be another monster, and that companion could also hate their situation.
Like they could both lash out and cause more harm to the
so
community.
it's
Yeah.
kind of a hard decision.
Yeah. And so, as we know, Victor said no, and he started making her and then destroyed her. So, that's when the creature fully, like, flips, and just from there, it's all about revenge for the creature. And I can understand why. Just because it's really, the creature has no foundation to go off of. He has no sense of love in his life.
No morals.
No morals. We see he reads a lot of books like Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
Which show him rejection of like Satan.
Yeah.
From God. So he definitely relates with Satan from Paradise Lost. So I mean, yeah, I could definitely see how like this whole thing flips, and I believe like about revenge. So I feel like revenge is a very prevalent theme in this entire book.
Yeah, and when Victor said no to creating that creature, that's when revenge really kind of
exactly
got rooted. And speaking of Victor, how does Victor respond to all of this chaos?
He gets obsessed. Like once Elizabeth dies, it's like he doesn't care about anything except finding and destroying the creature, which I mean, Elizabeth was very close to Victor, and like I feel like we've seen a lot of stories where when their loved ones are killed, we see them they want to lash out in anger and get justice. So yeah, Victor definitely I feel like has some sort of how do I put this? He's some sort of right to be angry. Yes, he has the right to be angry with the creature, but then he also has to, I feel like he needs to realize that he put this on himself.
Yeah, he started the whole thing. And then there's this line in chapter 24 that kind of really shows it, and it's when Victor says, "Revenge kept me alive. I dared not die and leave my adversary in being."
Yeah, it's pretty wild. His hatred for the monster is literally keeping him going.
Yeah, and what's crazy is they kind of switch roles because Victor becomes the one chasing the creature, and the creature is kind of like the one being hunted. That's going back to my podcast. That's kind of the whole creator/creation thing.
Yeah,
and that's when it gets flipped. And yeah.
So I have another question. So here's something this is like a deeper question. So how does revenge actually change who they are?
I would say that in that sense, the creature kind of gives up on being human. He knows that no matter what he does, the world's not going to see him as being someone to even consider. So he's kind of done trying to be good. And so then he's like, okay, well, fine. If you think I am a monster and that's all you ever see me as, then I will be one. So he kind of just becomes a monster. And
yeah. And for Victor, he basically loses himself. His family, his work, and like all of his morals, I feel like, are thrown out the window. It's like revenge is kind of like eating him from the inside and out. So like revenge is just his heart is just full of just hatred.
Yeah. And kind of in the end, neither of them win. They kind of just fall deeper into it, hate of each other, and just kind of both are isolated in their own way. And,
so I think it's perfect for our next question. Okay, so like this is kind of like a what if kind of question. Yeah. So what if either of them had chosen forgiveness instead of revenge?
I think if they would have chosen forgiveness, a couple things could have changed. I think if Victor would have helped the creature instead of just abandoning him, it might have gone off differently. That being like the creature may have, not had so much hatred towards kind of the outside world. might have been able to find himself, and then or if the creature had let go of revenge after De Lacy on the first murder. So basically, the creature may have not felt the urge to kill people if revenge wasn't on his mind.
So yeah, there were chances, like real moments, where it could have gone a different way, but once they gave into revenge, everything basically just fell apart.
Yeah, and revenge just kind of shuts everything else down, shuts down empathy, hope, and kind of all logic. It kind of goes out the window because they're so focused on just how can I fit in revenge constantly.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy, honestly, this leads right into this big idea. So, what do you think Mary Shelley is saying about revenge through basically this entire story?
I think she's kind of saying that revenge doesn't really fix anything at the root cause. Revenge might feel powerful in the moment, but that's kind of just a way to kind of bandage up a deeper problem that isn't fixed from the roots. But every time you seek revenge, it kind of leaves you emptier than before, and you kind of just get in a cycle of you end up becoming the thing that you're fighting against.
Yeah,
So no one's justified in it.
Yeah, when I think of revenge, I think of like yeah, you get the revenge, then what? Like do you like most revenge cases, like no one is satisfied at the end.
Yeah.
And Victor and the creature both start out with reasons that we can understand why they felt the need for revenge.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, they're both just lost.
Yeah. And even the creature admits it at the end after Victor's dead. The creature says, "I who inevitably destroyed thee by destroying all thou lovest," meaning the creature realized that revenge was not the perfect answer to this, because he sought revenge, and the person who died also sought revenge, so there was no perfect outcome.
Mm-hmm. So he knows it wasn't worth it. Revenge didn't bring like anyone peace. It just brought more pain and destruction.
Yeah, which brings us to the last question, and that is, what's the difference between revenge and justice in Frankenstein? Because we have justified justice, obviously, but then what? Like, there's also just dirty revenge, which brings no.
So, justice is a lot different than revenge. Justice is more about fairness that makes things right. Revenge is more of a selfish thing, and it's more personal, and it's basically it's pain for pain. Like
yeah, and the creature thinks he's getting justice.
Yeah, exactly.
But really, he's just dragging more people into his suffering, because he's not really getting any justice. He's just seeking revenge, because there's not really any justice to be made in a situation, because neither the creator or the creature are perfect. They both there is no perfect justice in this story.
Yeah, and exactly. And the same thing for Victor. He thinks like killing the creature will fix all of his problems, but it never brings closure to him. So
yeah,
the theme of revenge is very, very prevalent in the story.
Yeah.
And so that wraps up all the questions that we have. Thank you for listening, Mr. Carnahan. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you.